Welcome to Michigan Out of Doors. I'm Jenny Olson. Happy December, everybody. We are kicking off the brand new month with another all-new show for you. This week, Jordan Brown will take you out to run a trap line, and Jimmy's got some other fun in store for us this week, too.
Well, that's right, Jenny. We do have another story on this week's show, and it's really aimed at you gun enthusiasts out there, especially those of you that like to carry a handgun. We're going to show you a Michigan manufacturer, actually a guy just getting started out of his garage, who makes a holster system that you really may want to check out. Lots of good stuff on this week's show, so you stay tuned. I'm Jimmy Gretzinger, and it's time for Michigan Out of Doors.
From the first spring rains to the soft summer breeze, dancing on the pine forest floor, the autumn colors catch your eyes. Here come the crystal winter skies. It's Michigan, Michigan out of doors. Someday our children all will see this is their finest legacy, the wonder and the love of Michigan. As the wind comes whispering through the trees, the sweet smell of nature's in the air. From the Great Lakes to the quiet stream, shining like a sportsman's dream, it's the love of Michigan we all share.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Greenstone Farm Credit Services, making recreational land ownership possible across Michigan and northeast Wisconsin. Begin your land financing journey at one of Greenstone's 37 locations or visit greenstonefcs.com. By the Ultimate Sports Show Tour, producing consumer shows including the Ultimate Fishing Show Detroit, January 7th through 10th at Novi's Suburban Collection Showplace. The show features fishing tackle, fishing trips, fishing boats, and seminars on every Michigan game fish. The Ultimate Fishing Show Detroit, January 7th through 10th. By Country Smokehouse, offering a variety of meat products. Country Smokehouse is located 3 miles south of I-69 on M53, just south of Imlay City. Country Smokehouse is a meat processor, a butcher, and a destination for sportsmen.
We all have one, that perfect spot, a special place we go to smooth out the ripples of the day. Our perfect spot is calling. Our perfect spot is Pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
Hi, I'm Jordan Brown, and we kick off this week's show with the opening day of trapping season here in Michigan, where I was able to tag along with a couple of guys checking their trap line for the very first time this year here in Zone 3. The plan today was to start on the lake and eventually end up on a few smaller streams looking for a mixed bag of coon, muskrat, and beaver, and it didn't take long at all for us to get on the board.
This is our first muskrat of the season right here, and the set I had is I put it right where he's climbing up on the house, and it's where they're always going to be working to get up on top, and it produced a pretty good sized rat for us. First one.
So what we did here is we got a rat house sitting right here, and you can see where they've kind of been coming up on the backside there to kind of add stuff on the top, just kind of build the house up, and they were kind of sitting in here as a feed bed. So we put a corn cob up in there. It's got a lot of attraction. There's a lot of the white of it shows a lot, the yellow. And even though these rats probably never seen a corn cob before, it's something different. It's something that they'll pique their interest in, so they'll move up and check it out. And as you can see, we got 2 rats here, a double, and we'll keep moving on.
These guys use a variety of different traps and techniques when it comes to muskrats, and when they're not trapping near the hut, they usually key in on the feeding areas.
What we got here is number 1 jump. This is a absolute superb muskrat trap. What we like to use them for is I like using them on these feed mounds like what I'm going to show you here in a second. They're called a jump because you can kind of see how it's a concave and there's a spring underneath of it. What happens is when this is set and the muskrat or animal steps on the pan, it'll jump up onto the animal's leg. It jumps up farther on the leg in the theory of trying to get a better catch, a better secure on the animal so that way it can't get away. Basically what that is a feed mat, and what it is rats will be swimming through the weeds. They'll find something they want to eat, like a root or something. They'll come up, they'll sit right on top of that, and as you can see down in here, there's actually little cattail root pieces and grass pieces. And what they'll do is they'll sit there, they'll eat. They're kind of out of the way, they're not in the open, so hawks and stuff can't get to them. So that's a great place to put a trap. Put it right on the top, put it, stake it down, don't have to bait it, don't have to do anything, and you're done. And those are really productive, especially if you can find a lot of them.
After doing pretty well on muskrats, it was time to check our last trap on the lake, where the guys hoped they would find their very first beaver of the season.
So what we got here is a beaver lodge. You know what this is on a big lake here, and what they did is they built a big feed pile out here in front of the lodge, and they've been kind of going up along the side, just like the muskrats we showed you earlier, trying to build that pile, or build the lodge up as much as possible. We put a foothold up there and on the side, and we've got a beaver underneath my feet right now. So we're gonna go ahead and get him out and get this reset, and we'll show you a little bit better of a picture of that. When we pulled him out of the water, all this hair was slicked right back like that, and I shook him off, and it all pops up like that. And it's also got a lot to do with the oils that they put on their body. If you can see it, that split toenail right there, that's almost like a comb for them. And they've got two glands in here. They got castor glands and they got oil glands. They'll take those oil glands, put it on that comb, and run it through their hair, and it almost acts as a waterproofing agent. So there he is.
Although this wasn't the size beaver they were hoping for, that didn't seem to matter much, which speaks to what trapping really is at its core: conservation.
One of the big things about trapping that a lot of people don't really hear about or necessarily think about is the conservation aspect of it. Yeah, you can catch fur and sell them for money, but the biggest thing, the whole goal that I've ever done it for, I've never done it for the money. It's always been for the fact that I'm trying to help the population of these animals. We're trying to help decrease the population to a sustainable number, so that way our resources that they're living in aren't depleted. Raccoons are pretty much scavengers as is, but they'll get to the point where they'll start eating pheasants' eggs, turkey eggs, all that. And if we didn't control the raccoon populations, you can better believe it, in certain areas you're going to see a decrease in turkeys and pheasants. Those are two primary big ones, especially skunks are also another big one for that. Muskrats, you'll see damage along streams and creeks. They'll burrow right up inside and they'll start eroding away the banks. That's just another reason why we need to do this, why this has to be the way it is.
So what we got here is a creek goes right up towards the road. You got thick woods in the back. There's cornfields on both sides of this woods. What we did is there's a lot of coons that move along here at night looking for crayfish, frogs, minnows, stuff like that to eat. I put a pocket set in over there. He's got it all messed up right now, but we're gonna remake that. As you can see, you got a nice boar coon again. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. They come down here, acts as a natural funnel. They move through here looking for food, and just happened to be where he was at tonight.
All right, well, I got a nice sized coon right here next to the culvert. I got a pocket, and I have another little pocket set right there, just a hole up in the bank. And the soft bottom, he managed to pull one of the traps up, and well, I got both front feet then. So I'll end up resetting both these and stake it a little bit better, and see if we can get another one tomorrow.
After a successful set of coon traps, we headed to a nearby ditch in search of a few more muskrats to round out the day. Trapping muskrats on this kind of water is how James cut his teeth in the world of trapping over 15 years ago.
15 years ago, I was sitting down reading a magazine. I think it was Fur Fishing Game. It was one of the older magazines that I remember reading, but I'd seen a trapping article about it, and I asked my dad, and I said, have you done this before? Can you show me? Because I've seen some traps hanging out in his shed before. And he said, yeah, I'll take you out. And we went out, and he showed me kind of a few things that what he had learned. And it just basically sprouted from there. I've been doing it ever since. I've learned how to do beaver trapping and otter trapping, and I've moved up farther as far as different species of trap. When I first started, all I was trapping was muskrats and maybe a mink if I was lucky, more of an accidental, but now I actually target for them, and just been doing stuff like that and just loving it. There's 3 zones in Michigan. You've got the north zone, middle zone, and the south zone. Each one of those zones has their own opener for trapping. Ours just started, which are in the south zone right now, just started on the 10th, which was technically yesterday. We went out and put all of our sets in. And today was technically the first check, so I mean, it's just like any kind of opening day for anything, deer hunting, turkey hunting. If any guys are really big into it, your heart's racing the whole night. You don't get to sleep very good because you're wondering what's gonna come up the next day. You're hoping you have a good check. And it's that anticipation builds throughout the whole night, and pretty much for me the whole year, because there's times where I'm out even duck hunting, and goose hunting, or deer hunting, and I see a spot, I'm like, that'd be a really good coon spot, or that'd be a really good spot for trapping rats. Stuff like that. So I'm constantly thinking about it, and it just builds up the anticipation all year, and especially the night before is that's usually the worst night is waiting for that first check the next day.
We ended the day with a mixed bag, caught with all different kinds of traps. And although fur prices are significantly down this year, trapping still has a place in the outdoors, as it plays a vital role in conservation and helping to carry on the outdoor legacy here in Michigan. Special thanks to James and Harley for letting me tag along on day of checking traps here in the southern part of the state.
I've said this before, but I believe our trappers are some of the best sportsmen we have here in the state of Michigan. As a gun hunter, you're trying to get within 100, maybe 200 yards of a deer. As a bow hunter, maybe 30 or 40 yards. But those trappers will have to have their quarry step in a 2-inch by 2-inch square. Thanks to James Kennedy for letting us tag along on his trap line. What we're going to do now is show you a Michigan manufacturer who is making a very unique holster system that you may just want to learn more about. Every once in a while, you hear about a startup business that literally starts in the garage and becomes a big success. Well, just north of Muskegon, Jerry Bennett looks to be doing just that. Jerry makes all sorts of holsters, but his are just a little bit different than most.
The gist of it is that I bought a handgun, and then I bought another handgun, and I needed a holster that would work. It would be interchangeable. I mean, yeah, I have a bunch of tools around, but I don't want to have to carry them with me, so we came up with a process where you can literally just snap the one gun off and snap the other one on and keep your same leather, and the comfort's already built into it. So that's really how it started. Then a couple buddies of mine saw it, decided they liked it, and here we are.
So before we show you how he makes these, let's take a look at just how versatile these carry holsters truly are.
This is a Glock 43. Okay, so it snaps in there, and you're good to go. So you see you can get your shooter's grip on it there. And at this point, if it were your personal one, it would be partially broken in, and you'd have these adjusted for your ride height and your cant. And then say you want to carry your 1911, you pull the gun out, pull it out of your pants, snap it off, grab the new one, snap it on. Yes, they snap somewhat difficult, but that's okay. We want them to be. Okay, so now everything's in place. It's sitting at the same height and cant that your original gun was, so your draw is going to be the same. And then we'll grab the 1911, which this one is built for, and we'll slide that in. So now you can just carry 1911.
Perfect.
And you're all set.
Jerry is very hands-on with this process, and really having his buddies try these gave him the idea that this may be worth doing as a business.
In all honesty, it was a comfort and versatility of the way the system works. They're just like me, you know. They have more than one gun. In fact, they have probably more than 5 handguns, most of them. And I mean, we're talking full-size 1911s that carry comfortably and whatnot. So that's what it was. It was a comfort level, and the fact that they didn't have to go spend double the money on holsters. They could just buy that additional piece, snap it on, and they're ready to go.
Once the leather is done, Jerry has quite the process to handle the Tyvek. After the oven, it's time to be fitted to a specific gun.
So we go ahead and turn that off. And this is just a matter of lining it up here. And we close our top, hold it down. It's gonna get a little louder. Come all the way up, and we suck it down. Top of our clamp comes down so we get pressure on the trigger guard where we want it. And it just sits there, and I just kind of work the corners a little bit to make sure it gets all the way down in where we want it. This part probably isn't necessary, but I'm just standing here anyway, so.
And once the Tyvek cools, it becomes very rigid again and works perfect for what Jerry needs it to do.
And that's it. That is now custom fit to the Glock 43 with all the snaps in the right place. You see how I kind of got the up stickers on them here? It's the shape of it. It's already hardened, and there's your 80 thousandths. I mean, it's got good definition. You can see what you need to see there.
I have to say, I am always amazed at the ingenuity of some of our sportsmen. Whether it's a bamboo fly rod, custom lures, or interchangeable gun holsters, we have some very resourceful sportsmen and women here in Michigan.
From the backside here, we don't put a backer on it because we've had reports of the backer causing a rubbing effect against the skin. So once this leather breaks in a little bit, it feels more like a felt feel on the back, so it's actually comfortable against the skin. And as you see, all of our screws are lower than what they call a T-nut here that holds it together, so you won't have that poking against your body. So we've had great results with something just simple like this, and then as it breaks in, it forms to your body and it becomes actually a little bit more comfortable on the backside.
Now, Jerry does make a variety of more traditional holsters, but his interchangeable system is great for the gun owner who doesn't want to buy a bunch of holsters.
It rides just like a normal hybrid holster in the waistband. You know what you see once it's in there, it's secure, nothing's gonna pop. You get a nice snug fit, you can hear it click in there. The clips are not adorned as to not draw attention to it. It's meant to be as subtle as possible here. But yeah, just like that, if you wanted to pull it out and carry your 1911 instead of your shield, you would just pull the holster back out, snap on the other version, and your 1911 will ride just like that shield would right there, where you can get your hand down in there just like you want to get a hold of it there. Just got to go in between, which is normal. I mean, you got a body there, so can't do much about that. And then these are tuckable, so you can go, not the easiest to tuck, but it's the way they're designed. You can go over the gun and under the clip, and then you poof it back out like guys do, right?
If you have a concealed carry permit, this interchangeable system may be worth looking at. We'll have Jerry's website in the credits. Responsible, safe gun handling is always something we want to promote, and here in a garage in West Michigan, Jerry Bennett is helping us do just that.
Thanks for joining us this week for Michigan Out of Doors. Make sure you check us out online next time you get a chance. You can do it a couple of different ways on our website at MichiganOutofDoorsTV.com or on our Facebook page at Michigan Out of Doors TV. We've got a lot of fun yet in store for you for the rest of this year.
Well, we do have a lot of good things coming over the next few weeks here in Michigan Out of Doors. We're getting into the muzzleloader season now. That's going to be coming over the next few weeks here in Michigan Out of Doors. We're also going to have a camera up this weekend for the elk hunt in the northeast part of the Lower Peninsula. Some good fishing is happening on the piers and also off the shoreline. So lots of good stuff coming over the next few weeks here in Michigan Out of Doors. Make sure that you're joining us. And I know this week's show is a little short, and that is because some of our PBS stations are going into pledge right now. So if you have never pledged, we ask you to pledge early and pledge often. And when you make a pledge of support around Michigan Out of Doors, it really goes a long way in supporting outdoor programming. To have a show like we did tonight with trapping and the shooting sports being featured. So lots of good stuff happening here at Michigan Out of Doors. We want to continue to be telling your story as a sportsmen and women here in the great state of Michigan. And when you make a pledge of support around Michigan Out of Doors, it goes a long way. So thanks so much to our PBS stations for letting us continue to bring Michigan Out of Doors to you every week. And hopefully we'll see you right back here next week on your PBS station.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by the Michigan chapters of Safari Club International. For over 40 years, SCI has been protecting hunters' rights and promoting wildlife conservation here in Michigan and around the world. SCI chapter locations can be found on the web at firstformichigan.org. By Jay's Sporting Goods with locations in Clare and Gaylord. Jay's, serving the Michigan outdoor enthusiast since 1971 with a wide variety of outdoor products. The gear, the knowledge, the tradition of Jay's. On the web at jaysportinggoods.com. By Rosie Brothers. Located in Dryden, Michigan, Rosie Brothers has been serving Michigan for over 40 years. Specializing in outdoor needs, Rosie Brothers features Kubota tractors and equipment for use in farm, home, or commercial needs. On the web at rosiebrosinc.com. By Propane, Clean American Energy. Propane retailers promote the safe use of Michigan-produced gas energy in homes, farms, and businesses across our great state. Learn more at usemichiganpropane.com. Closed captioning is provided by the Michigan Propane Gas Association, Clean American Energy. Propane realtors promote the safe use of Michigan-produced gas to outdoor enthusiasts across our great state.
Man, I am a Michigan man. Ask where I'm from and I'll show you my hands. Lord above, I love this land. I am a Michigan man. Say when in wega when manani abna minga nishnavik anishnavik in Joe Kalamazoo, East to Monroe, to St. Marie and back again. I am a Michigan man. I am a Michigan man. Ask where I'm from and I'll show you my hands. Lord above, I love this land.